Storytime. This is Select Products. They are out of Florida. I got to meet, I think he was the president. So I like how he says he's an account executive. My dad taught me the same thing. He's like, son, never put your name on shit. Never put like president or CEO on your business card. Always make yourself like, you know, you don't have to put like, you know, jizz guzzler or something like that on there, but you can again, like this. So accountant executive, that's pretty good. So there's their information. I assume they're still in business. So in the last video, yeah, I was talking about, this is actually based on a real girl. This is based on his wife. She's a super hot chick, and her and I watched a couple of episodes of The Simpsons flying from Phoenix to Vegas for CES. It was entertaining. I didn't know who she was, and then when I went to the booth and I go, hey, we were on the same, she's like, oh, that was you. Yeah. It's kind of neat. I talked to a girl with big boobies. Ah! Well, and then later, I think I went to the porn. It's not the porn awards. It's the it should be called the Boner Awards, but one of the porn convention has it at the same time as CES. And what's funny is the press doesn't cover that, but that's why they have it at the same time, because everybody's there for CES, and then they go, ooh, you know, what's funny is in the past. Gosh, I guess it's been, first time I went was in '98, and they used to have CES, or most of CES, at the Sands convention, which a lot of people don't understand that the Sands convention is like multi-level. I think there's at least 2 levels. So, because me and this guy named Rich Shockley, who was like a fanboy of a local shop here, we went, and we didn't know. And we had gone downstairs to, they said, bathrooms are downstairs. And I was like, oh, okay. So we go downstairs, and there was, one of them was Minka, which is the largest busty Asian model or whatever. And then I forget who her friend was, but she was a blonde chick and had big old watermelon-sized watermelons. And we were like, what the fuck are these girls doing? Because at the time, this was in the late 90s. So at that time, car audio booth still had like some hooker, sex worker, whatever, that would show up in a bikini, and, you know, she was the poster girl or whatever. And so I was like, these are not poster girls. And then that's when we found out. We started wandering around, and Rich got nervous. He's like, you're going to tell my wife, aren't you? I was like, I'm not going to tell your wife. And so we bugged out of there. So, but anyways, it's fun. Oh, that's the bummer part about the porn. Again, I forget what it's called, AVN or whatever it is. It's the porn convention. It's where everybody gets together to sell their dildos. They charge like $90 now. Or back this last time I went was in 06. Oh yeah, I was there with Sergey Klypin. That's where I met Dan Wiggins and the guys from Adire and stuff like that. So, and I was up $1,500 on blackjack, and so I treated Sergey to go there, because Sergey would definitely not ever go to anything like that. It was funny. Sergey and I shared a room at was it the Lady Dragon? Oh my God, it was some terrible, super stinky, you could smell cigarette smoke everywhere. It was on the Strip, but Sergey got up in the middle of the night, and I looked over, and he had the most holiest underwear on. If you guys don't know, Sergey Klypin is he's a brilliant engineering person of engineering, with you know, bougie parents that worked at llamo. Was it? Yeah, Alameda, the nuke college and the nuke base right there in New Mexico. And he and I connected, and Sergey at the time was the repair guy for RE Audio. And so he got me to see Dan Wiggins, he got me to see David Moore, and Mark and Scott over there at RE. And I met all of them, but Sergey was one of the cheapest motherfuckers I've ever met. And he was arrogant and very communist Russia, which is what, you know, his parents brought him up in. So, but yeah, and that's why I say bougie, because they were definitely bourgeoisie. They were, you know, when you're in a communist society like that, a college professor is, you know, an esteemed upper class, upper echelon type of position, you know, and they gave it to him. And I mean, he was using his skills practically. He was doing amp repairs, which is not the most glamorous thing, but yeah, him and I did not hit it off. I was ready to move to New Mexico to team up with him, and I was looking at warehouses, and at the time they were super affordable, and Sergey sabotaged the whole thing, and basically didn't respect me. He saw me as sort of a I guess a less than or peon or just a common merchant. And again, if you have this class system in your head, it's almost like the caste system from India. If you have this in your head, then you look at other people and you judge people and all this kind of stuff, and that creates problems. And that created a problem between him and I. I was like, at the time I was doing like 15 a month selling speaker plugs and other bullshit that I gotten at the things, and I guess he felt like I was making too much money. I was too prosperous for the lack of education that I had. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that doesn't really work out. And I remember he got so mad because he, what was it? Somebody had come in for an install because his shop there in New Mexico was like mostly just for manufacturing. And he occasionally would have somebody come for an install and stuff like that. And he's the one that introduced me to Texas Boombox down in, Mr. Wong down in El Paso. And what was it? So anyway, this guy came in and he needed a little adapter, which was a headphone to RCA. And I go, oh yeah, I got that. And he couldn't believe that I had predicted that that would be a handy thing to bring with me. And he got so mad about it. And I was like, for me, it was basics. It was like, I think I might need this. And, you know, I just kind of hedged my bets. And, you know, I also was raised as a Mormon Boy Scout, and, you know, be prepared. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And he like completely sabotaged our relationship and our deals and everything like that. And I was literally in tears. And I remember I had flown there. And then one of his, this was right when the first Star Wars movie, the second trilogy had come out, and we all went and watched that together. And I had actually heckled the screen because of how bad it was, because it was like, I was like, that was the new Star Wars movie? This is a piece of shit. And then there was a long ride from Las Cruces to El Paso in the car after I had shit on all they're LARPers. They do live action role play, and I had shit on all that, and then I had shit on their Star Wars movie. It was not a good fit. It was not a good fit. Good people, but so let me get back to here to Select Products. Select Products is basically the same thing that I showed you with Mobile Solutions, but these guys are out of Florida, so I'm sure they're probably related on the outskirts of, you know, just like in the auto industry. There's actually a lot of businesses that are not in Detroit. They're on the outskirts. They're on the suburbs, and they're actually really great. It's a big industry. Same thing with the movie industry. A lot of stuff is not located in Hollywood. Most of the stuff is located in Burbank, but it's all over the valley, and there's, again, people are always looking for affordable places to shoot. So the industry is quite large, and it's mostly Southern California for the movies. Same with, like I was saying, with Detroit. It's actually all over Michigan. And then if you look at those states on the map, they're actually quite small compared to like Arizona. And so traveling and shipping in between states like that, it's not really a big deal. Like if, you know, you can have a place over in Ohio and it's fine, or, you know, Illinois or whatever. It's all pretty much the same bag of bolts. But so anyway, Select Products. Florida is actually really popular also because of the seaport. Other places you notice that will be popular is Texas for the Houston port, even though the Houston port takes a little bit more time. Sometimes the Florida port, sometimes they come over the Pacific, and sometimes they come over the Atlantic. Again, it's just open. It's a good seaport. Again, Cali, a lot of people are located in Southern Cali because of Long Beach. There's reasons why they locate there. So the weirdo was, I saw a little, it wasn't a TikTok, but it was a short video of Bear vids talking about a ED Elemental Designs flawed 6.5-inch subwoofer driver that he was rebuilding or repairing so that he could use it again. And they were located in like Iowa, which I thought was really weird. But there was, for a minute there was a lot of tax incentives like Kansas. Kansas, I think for a long time was where Sprint was located. And a lot of people considered it, a lot of investors, I should say, considered it a great place because of how cheap it was. And there was a lot of tax incentives to get you to move there and create an industry. So like Sprint was there, and then there was a company called 1&1 that built a huge server farm there. And I think they built it underground because there's still, you know, what do you call it? Tornadoes and shit like that. But if you can avoid the tornadoes or build something super strong, then you're pretty much good. And I think there's still programs for Kansas to get you to move there. You just got to, like, if you buy land really cheap, you just got to build within a certain period of time. Typically, it's for retirees, people like that who like own a big $100,000 Winnie and want to put down some roots or something like that, or just have a better place to put their money, which is real estate, especially if you're going to develop real estate, which is, you know, like if you get a barn dominium or something like that. So this is all basic stuff. This is a fancy version of micro. That's why I always like micro. Micro is not pretentious, even though they were located in the Southern California area. I did that whole video on micro. I'll put a link to it in the description. In fact, I'm going to order from them today. One of the things I really like to order from them is their ring terminals, which were typically really affordable. It's the 0 gauge ring terminals, and they offered them in gold and nickel plate. Right now, Recoil's out of them, and so I'm just like, fuck it, I need these. And so I got to order those, and then I also ordered the Klein knockoff crimpers. So for some reason, the 20 pair that I ordered last time have all disappeared. I like really this carpet selection, but again, you can find all this stuff online now. Amazon has put companies like these pretty much out of business. And there's other online vendors now too, like Walmart, that they do the same thing Amazon does, but they just charge less. And so that makes them, you know, viable. Again, the same ideas that I was talking about, you know, why people would move to Kansas, why movies are produced in Louisiana and Georgia, tax incentives. It's cheap. You can save a bunch of money on production, and that means more profits for you. You know what's funny is, though, for a little guy like me, Amazon was a nightmare. So I did not like dealing with the public in that way, and people would make returns if they found another deal, you know, 2 cents cheaper or whatever, or they changed their mind. I was fucking super annoying. I broke even on that one, even though I sold quite a few items. So I will not do that again. Vinyl color, this is cute. Again, there's all kinds of, this is totally replaced. As far as this goes too, I used to buy from Micro, but who was it? Metra picked up their game and started selling a lot of good hardware that I like. I like the oval heads and the pan heads. The pan heads, the number 8 pan heads, is what I use for securing subwoofers. I even get the 3-inch ones. They offer up to 3-inch, which is really nice when you're going through the double face and all that kind of stuff. And it's good. Star washers are badass. Again, look for stuff that's always compare pricing. Never rely. These are security screws. We plan to do some stuff like that when we start importing the speaker stuff from China, all the 3M connectors. Oh yeah, I'm going to show you about the install edge. So install edge, little peekaboo. Install edge was Larry Van Sickle's project with Rockford Corporation to help them get into the accessories market, and it was a complete failure. Not because of Larry, but because of Rockford's micromanaging and political, egotistical type of people involved. So Larry, I think, and the boys still go to Christmas parties with them and all that kind of shit, but it's funny. There you go, little LOC. Watch out, Steve Mead. $8.95. You know, it's funny. It's for them. It's about just keeping score and going, oh, I can't believe you did that. Oh, that's $1 million. Oh, it's a completely different lifestyle. Not that I object to it. What I don't like is when people are just mean. I was watching a TikTok last night, and who was it? Somebody was, I think it was will.i.am, was talking about how he went over to Michael Jackson's place the next morning after they saw Prince. Prince was playing his bass in my face. Prince is always being a meanie. I thought that was funny. I'll see if I can find that clip for you guys. This is all PAC stuff, and again, this is Edge, which is Larry's company in China. AI is the alternative to Metra. I actually like a lot of their products, and they're typically more affordable. Of course, I was getting my stuff from, you can get it online now for really cheap, or micro. So, Porta cable stuff, again, it's all decent. It's as good as DeWalt or anybody else. Delta, you got to have the best. No, if you want to fucking finance something, then buy Delta. And then they got the carbide bits. Carbide router bits, all that kind of stuff. I did buy one of these router bits that's like, it has a special curve or something like that into it, and then you're supposed to be able to make a nice miter joint where it has extra surface area, which I thought was handy, but I don't use it as much as I want to. But I would love to see somebody that has finally put that together. Again, I'm because of my rent, I have to focus on high value items and high value transactions in order to survive. I like this though. I like the different color hot glue. They got all different colors. Sometimes, most of the time, of course, everybody just uses clear. But again, compare pricing. And just having black hot glue is kind of cool. Again, speaker building is mostly just arts and crafts. And then again, I would just use Harbor Freight. Even though some of this stuff is pretty, it's not too bad priced. There you go. I just bought one of these. Let's see, UT752 air die grinder. Yeah, see, that's too much. So in fact, I used to buy the Husky ones over at Home Depot, and then the price went up on those, and I'm like, fuck you. And so then I found, who was it? Yeah, it's on Amazon. I find it for $36 on Amazon, and it comes with a little bottle of oil, and it comes with the nipple tip and a bunch of other stuff. The only thing it did come with, it was Teflon tape, which I'm like, I got that, but I thought it was really handy, and it's only $36. I bought 2 extras. Yeah, that's how old this is. They were still using ADS. ADS, of course, was acquired by DEI Group, which is Congressman Darrell Iss's electronics company, which is Viper, and the other series of brands that, I think it's Stinger. Is it Stinger? No, it's like, he had like Viper, Wasp, and a bunch of other related names. The reason, just so you know, the reason why they do that is because, like, if you have a Viper dealer in an area, like, say there's only one Viper dealer in Phoenix, and you want to sell to a competitor of his, so then you sell him the same product under the other brand, which is Wasp, which is the same product, but it's just maybe different package color or something like that. And that's how you double dip the market. So I was listening to Tom Segura talk about that. I think it was, who was it? Oh, it was Kevin Smith that he had on the program, and Kevin was talking to Tom and saying, you know, how come you and Christina don't tour together? And he goes, because you can double dip the market, because people will pay full price for a ticket to see Tom, and then they'll pay full price to go see Christina. So that's why you do that. So, oh, boo-hoo, you got to be apart, but you make an extra, 10, 20 grand. It's a good deal. Electrolytic capacitors, very helpful. Again, you want to shop around for those. Look at the BG Micro. What's that one I showed you yesterday? The Marlon P. Jones. Those guys. That's who you want to look to for these kind of stuff. I remember seeing these in the 90s where it was like Kicker was branding their own inductors and things like that, and it's very expensive. Yeah, dealer cost $90 on a 1 farad cap. No thanks. So, but yeah, I mean, this is a very pretty catalog. In fact, to print a catalog like this is actually quite expensive. NOS, Universal Nitrous System. I really enjoy guys that are able to pirate NOS, not for speed, but to recover from hangovers. That's really handy for it. Plus, it gives you, I've heard, so I've heard. I was hanging out with some rich people one time, and they were like, you want some NOS? I was like, what for? And he's like, oh, to get your hangover. I was like, and I didn't want to say the words, I don't drink, because then I'm a square. You're a narc. Well, yeah, I do kind of look like a cop, don't I? So that's it. That's select products. New dealers only page. Go check them out online. Here is the website, selectproducts.com. Again, they are in Miramar. And of course, they belong to all the organizations that support their lifestyle. And so remember, when you meet a girl that has big boobies, don't look at her boobies. That's my advice. Love you. Bye.